Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
It's official. The first day of summer is underway, and Mother Nature finally cooperating. We'll take a look at your Finally Friday weekend and fireworks forecasts.
And bullets fly as the passenger in an Uber is robbed on the Lodge this morning. What we're learning now about the attack. Plus, we're following two breaking stories for you here at noon. There's a deal now to end a strike for hundreds of auto workers. But we begin with a deadly crash involving a cement truck. We've learned a woman has died when a cement truck rolled right onto her car. It happened this morning in Romulus. It happened at the intersection of Van Born Road and Merriman. Sean Lay is there live. And Sean, this is still very much an active scene right now.
So active, so heartbreaking, Sandra, because a woman was likely, we're told, on her way to work who's not coming home tonight. There's a lot going on here. We are keeping a respectful distance away from this victim's car. But here's the scene. The whole road, whole intersection here of Merriman and Van Born shut down as a couple of cranes have come in to try to lift the cement truck off of the car that the cement truck crashed on top of. Here's the deal. We just got an update from Romulus Police. They know one woman is dead inside that car. They don't know yet if anyone else is in the car.
It's absolutely insane. It makes you very, very humble. And prayers go out to the family and friends of whoever this may be. It's just very, very unfortunate.
Onlookers, they're in shock looking at this awful scene at the intersection of Van Born and Merriman in Romulus. A fully loaded cement truck comes crashing down onto a car. This is a fatal accident. Romulus police tell us that they know there is one woman in the car who did not survive. They can't see into the rest of the car to see if there was anyone else in this crushed car.
We can only see one person at this time. We're still not sure how many people are in the vehicle. We do not believe there's anybody alive in that car at all.
How did this happen? Police are looking at security camera videos right now, but they believe that the car and truck were both headed east on Van Born, approaching the light. They believe the car's driver cut in front of the cement truck. He swerved, trying not to hit her, but the truck instead toppled over. We're back here live. Take a look behind me. DTE trucks, they're lined up here in case they need to be called into service to get some power lines out of the way here as the cranes continue to try to hoist up this cement truck off of that car. So police investigators can look inside and see if it's just one woman inside the car or more. The cement truck driver, we saw him. He was visibly shaken up. His wife tells me he was also injured, back injury and neck injury. He was taken to the hospital a short time ago as a precaution. Much more on this coming up later on Local 4. Sandra, back to you.
Yeah, such a tragedy. So sad. Thank you so much, Sean. Our other breaking news this noon comes from Saline. That's where auto plant workers were on strike. The UAW and Forcia have now reached an agreement to end that strike. Nearly 2,000 workers went on strike after their contract expired. They're looking for better working conditions and better wages. The Forcia plant is a parts supplier for the Big Three, and Tesla details on the deal have not yet been released just yet. It was a terrifying morning on the Lodge for an Uber passenger and driver. They were hit, shot at, and robbed, and it happened all before 7 this morning. Larry Spruill reports now on the rideshare scare and the search for who did it.
Imagine you're inside of an Uber on your way to your location when, out of nowhere, two cars hit the Uber. The Uber driver gets out of the car, and what happens next is just unbelievable.
First off, that's pretty dang crazy.
Is this real?
It's an overwhelming round of surprise for these Uber customers after finding out what happened Friday morning. Local 4 there on scene as officers blocked off several lanes on the Lodge. Police officers tell me a passenger was inside an Uber when two cars hit the car. The Uber driver got out. That's when people inside the other cars started shooting at the passenger inside the Uber and also tried to rob the passenger. Police say the shooters drove off, but no one was injured.
People need to get rid of the guns. And I mean, the way I grew up, I mean, if you've got an issue with somebody, you don't do it with guns.
So early to do wild stuff, like, wow, you didn't even brush your teeth yet, for real. and you're doing wild things.
So what would you do if you were inside that car when shots were fired? I'll have those reactions from Uber customers. I'm working on that part of the story, all new tonight at 5. Reporting in downtown Detroit, Larry Spruill, Local 4.
All right, thank you, Larry. Police say suspects were driving a dark-colored Dodge Charger and a maroon Chrysler 300. They were last seen heading northbound on the Lodge. We're also following the aftermath of a deadly shooting in southwest Detroit that happened last night. The father of a 15-year-old boy who was shot has been arrested in the shooting death of his son's robber. Police say the two teens met up. One was selling a video game to the other. One teen then tried to rob the other, shooting him in the face. The father of the boy who was shot saw it happen. He pulled out his own gun, then shooting and killing the robber. Turning now to the weather on this Friday, and we're happy to say it is officially summer. In fact, it happened just minutes ago at exactly 11:54, and today we get the most daylight hours of the entire year. And Brandon, we can say it feels like summer today. No rain finally.
It would be terrible if the most daylight hours came on a day like yesterday where we just couldn't enjoy it. But apparently Mother Nature knows what she's doing. Last day of spring was 60s and showers, and now today it is sunshine. Summer officially began at 11:54, the summer solstice. What does solstice mean? Sol, sun. Sistere means stand still. So because it is in our sky, that sun, more than any other day of the year, our ancestors long ago said, hey, that sun is standing still. 15 hours, 17 minutes of daylight on this first day of summer. We are in that 70-degree range in most locations. You can see Flint 71, Lapeer 70, 72 in Novi. It's 73 Ann Arbor, 74 in Saline. We've got areas of Monroe County that are already in the middle 70s, pushing 80, and I think a lot of us are going to be right around 80 degrees with that summer sun. Sandra, we're looking at weekend numbers and conditions that are improving. Fireworks forecast. Well, Mother Nature may have some of her own. We'll have it coming up.
We'll see you in a bit. Thank you, Brandon. A man caused quite the commotion at security at Metro Airport this morning. The airport telling us he removed his clothing at a checkpoint at the McNamara terminal, moved the barrier, and then approached a metal detector. The TSA stopped him from getting through security. Police later determined he was not a threat, and he was later taken to the hospital. Police in Macomb County issuing a warning this noon about a snake on the loose. The New Baltimore Police Department looking for this right here, a snake which is about 4 to 5 feet in length. It was first seen in Rudisdale Park on Wednesday night. They're trying to identify what kind of snake it is, and they're also asking everyone to use caution in the park and near the water until they figure it out. Police say with the rising water levels, it's likely we're going to see more snakes also trying to find drier areas at this time of year. Tensions escalating between the U.S. and Iran. Overnight, President Trump approved military strikes in retaliation for a strike on a U.S. drone. But then he backed away. Richard Engel is in Qatar with why.
A reprisal attack against Iran for shooting down an American drone in the Persian Gulf was underway overnight. The New York Times reports planes in the air, warships in position to attack Iranian radar installations and missile batteries. President Trump tweeted this morning, "We were cocked and loaded to retaliate last night on 3 different sites. When I asked, how many will die? 150 people, sir, was the answer from a general. 10 minutes before the strike, I stopped it. Not proportionate to shooting down an unmanned drone. I'm in no hurry." As late as 7 p.m., U.S. officials were expecting a strike until it was called off with no shots fired, the New York Times reported, citing multiple senior officials involved in or briefed on the deliberations. President Trump holding his cards close to his chest after first hearing Iran shot down the drone.
And I think probably Iran made a mistake. I would imagine it was a general or somebody that made a mistake in shooting that drone down.
Iran and the U.S. dispute where the drone was when it was shot down. The Pentagon releasing these distant images, it says, of the drone falling toward the sea, insists the unmanned aircraft was in international waters, 20 miles from the Iranian coast. Iran, which put out its own footage, it says, of the shootdown, insists the drone was in Iranian airspace, and this morning began presenting its evidence to international diplomats. Iranian TV showing what it says are pieces of the downed drone. NBC could not verify this independently.
The Reuters news agency is reporting that President Trump sent a message to Iran's supreme leader saying he does not want war but talks. But Iranian officials say that exchange never happened. Richard Engel, NBC News, Doha, Qatar.
Still to come here at noon, Apple issuing a major recall over a popular product that could catch fire. What to bring back to the store because of battery problems. Plus, a dog rushed to the vet because he wasn't eating, and what vets found inside his stomach left everybody stunned. But first, a bombshell development in the Jussie Smollett case. What a judge has now ruled regarding the prosecutor's decision to drop all charges.